Hello, and welcome to our question of the week. This week's question relates to OASIS submissions. OASIS submission for all payers that went into effect as of July 1st, 2025 triggered our question. The law states that we need to send 90% of our OASIS to Medicare, IKEs, within 30 days. If we are not compliant, the provider can be penalized 2% for quality data not being reported. Is the compliancy only on Medicare OASIS or all OASIS? This week's question is answered by Jennifer Osburn, a clinical consultant here at HPS. The answer is as follows. The intent of CMS for OASIS submission is twofold. First, the 90% compliance requirement applies to matching OASIS assessments being submitted. Each patient should have at least 2 matching assessments, which are the basis of forming a quality episode, meaning each start of a quality episode OASIS has a matching end of quality episode OASIS. All OASIS-based quality measures are calculated using quality episodes that begin when care begins, at either a start of care or a resumption of care, and ends when care ends with either a transfer, discharge, or death at home. Agencies are expected to submit OASIS in these quality pairs, in other words, and to do so at a 90% compliance rate at least. If an agency falls below this 90% threshold for matching assessments, there is a 2% reduction in the payment on all claims for the next year. Second, each OASIS should be transmitted within 30 days of the M090 date of the OASIS to meet the requirements of the conditions of participation. This is not a condition of payment. The 2026 Home Health Proposed Rule went a step further in showing this intent by codifying that all payer OASIS data is included by changing the conditions of participation as follows. To align with the transition to OASIS all-payer submission requirements, as outlined in the calendar year 2023 Home Health PPS Final Rule, we are proposing at 484.45a to remove the term beneficiary and replace it with the term patient. Thus, 484.45a would read, if finalized as proposed, an HHA must encode and electronically transmit each completed OASIS assessment to the CMS system, regarding each patient with respect to which information is required to be transmitted, as determined by the Secretary, within 30 days of completing the assessment of the patient. Prior to July 1st, 2025, all skilled Medicare and Medicaid OASIS were required to be submitted or exported within 30 days of the M090 date and matching OASIS assessments at a 90% compliance rate. With the implementation of all payer OASIS, all OASIS are included, except for the regular or usual OASIS exemptions, in both the 30-day submission requirement and the matching OASIS compliance rate of 90%. The 2026 final rule will finalize these changes as proposed above. The finalization, as mentioned above, just formalizes this into the conditions of participation regulations. It was in effect as of July 1st, 2025. Do you have a question for our clinical consultants? Join our HPS Alliance. For more information, visit healthcareprovidersolutions.com/HPS Alliance. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos so that you don't miss future questions of the week, Monday Minutes with Melinda, and more.